Hello, everyone. Yes, you are welcome to today's live session. Yes, so we won't be wasting much of your time just to give you this update. I don't know if you've heard about this topic that has been trending on the social media. You can see that the president of Nigeria, was so smart to have blocked the University of Chicago from releasing his document. We all know before this time that the judge in the United States has ordered the Chicago State University to release his academic record to Atiku. Atiku needs this information, in filing his appeal at the Supreme Court. So all this while Atiku has gone on this matter, he needed this information. He needed this record at all costs. And as in, he was not looking back in ensuring that he gets this document. So at the point, we all rejoiced when the judge ordered the Chicago State University to release this document as soon as possible to Atiku Abubakar. But looking at what we have here on this headline, you can see that the president has taken this smart step to block the Chicago State University from releasing this record. It was told that he had to approach a higher court to stop the Chicago State University from releasing his information. He claimed that it's going to result to an irreparable damage to his person. So that brings us to the question if he has got anything to hide. We've always said it on this channel that for me, and like Dr. Teo always say, for him to, it's just better for him to allow them to release this document so that we'll put this matter to rest, so that Nigerians will know that, yes, the sitting president went to the United States, he schooled in Chicago State University, he graduated. Look at the information he submitted while he was entering the university or at the point of admission. Look at what he submitted to the university, and we'll equally get to know that, yes, he actually graduated, because they've told us that, yes, he graduated from the university. Oh yeah, give us the certificate now, give us the information at your disposal. We want to see it. Nigerians are interested, both home and abroad. We are interested, we want to see it so that this matter will be put to rest. And like we've always said, if you know you don't have anything to hide in your cupboard, what is wrong about your record being published? We do not see anything. Myself, I don't see anything wrong with that. Because if you don't have anything to hide, you will have that free mind. You want the Chicago State University, you even tell them to hurry up, release this document so that people will see it and know that I've got no skeleton in my cupboard. When this topic started trending, Peter Obi's certificate, his NYSC, his university certificate were all trending on Twitter, as in it was just circulating everywhere. People were seeing it because each time somebody comes up and say, I want to become a public figure, people want to know more about you. People want to dig into your past. People want to know who are you for the last 10 years, 20 years, if not possibly since you were born. People want to get more information about you. That is just one thing about being a public office holder. So not to talk of being the president of Nigeria. You can't become the president of Nigeria and you are hiding your identity. No, Nigerians want to know. And you know what? To even make things worse, he's saying that the ground upon which he's asking them not to release his information to Atiku is because it's going to cause an irreparable damage, meaning that he really wants to preserve his image. He wants to preserve his reputation, his prestige. So he's telling them, please don't release this document. If you release it, it will cause so much damage that you will not be able to fix. So the judge was very, very smart to have like called the parties, I mean, the Atiku party, the Tinubu party, and other people who were interested in this case. They had like a video link to connect to the proceeding. So the judge has ordered them to go and do their mathematics, do their presentation. So the final ruling will be given by next week. I'm just hoping that the judge will not want to listen to this kind of, please don't release my information. No, I think at this point, Nigerians just want to know. For me, we want to know so that we'll not be speculating anymore. Somebody will not come and tell us that the person that graduated from the university is a female, while we have a male claiming that he graduated from the university. We don't want to see that the person who graduated there has a different age, date of birth from the sitting president. So he should just allow this information to be released. I think it will also help to like build his own prestige. If Nigerians will finally discover that all that he submitted to INEC were correct, what is there? He will be there to uphold his prestige. So let me allow you guys just watch this video and we'll come back again to add more to what I've
Tinubu
just
yesterday, following the ruling of Nancy Maldonado, a senior judge of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois, halting the release of his university records to candidates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the February 25 Relief came the way of President Bola Tinubu yesterday, following the ruling of Nancy Maldonado, a senior judge of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois, halting the release of his university records to candidates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the February 25 presidential election, Atiku Abubakar. The order staying the execution of Magistrate Jeffrey Gilbert on the Chicago State University was sequel to Tinubu's plea that releasing the said documents to Atiku would cause him severe and irreparable harm. Gilbert had, in a ruling on Tuesday night, ordered the Chicago State University to, within 48 hours, release the academic records of Tinubu to Atiku to enable him prove his claim that Tinubu ought not to have contested the February 25 presidential election on account of alleged perjury and forgery of his CSU certificate. The judge, in issuing the order, held that the applicant, a former vice president of Nigeria, had shown sufficient reasons why Tinubu's academic records should be released to him. The court also ordered the school's administrators to authenticate any documents submitted under oath. Tinubu had, in a fresh emergency application, specifically asked the district court to delay the enforcement of the order of Judge Gilbert till Monday, September 25, 2023. He claimed Atiku would not be prejudiced against if the court delayed the release of the said documents, as he still has up to September 27 to submit materials in support of his appeal at the Supreme Court. Right, so we spoke about this yesterday, and this is an update. The court had Judge Jeffrey Gilbert had given the school, CSU, 48 hours to release documents, and now there's a stay on that. We're fine.
So, I mean, I'm just trying to understand how the university records of somebody that is in public office being released will cause irreparable harm. I mean, because I don't get that line. How will it cause irreparable harm? This is a public figure, a president of a country. If you're a private citizen, nobody has got qualms with that. But you're the president of a country. You went to the people, you said, vote for me. You got voted in. And now there are cases as regards your documents in school. What's the big deal in releasing it to the people? How does it cause a harm or irreparable harm? That's a conundrum I don't understand. But the case has been on for quite a while. And I think the appeal will go out there, I think Monday or thereabout. You know, you're going to have more hearings and more submissions as regards the case. But the truth has to be said, once somebody becomes a public figure, most importantly, holding a public position, definitely you should be open to public scrutiny. And releasing your university records for the sake of, authenticating things should not be a big deal, in my own estimation. And that's why the line of irreparable harm is something I don't understand. The school has claimed he went there. So why can't they release the document? Or why doesn't he want them to release the document? To authenticate the claim of the school. Pure and simple. The school, still reporting through the CBS channel, claimed he attended the school in the late 70s. So what's the qualm about releasing? So how will releasing the document of a school that was attended cause irreparable harm? That's a big question. I don't understand.
Well, I thought Justice Madu.
Yes, guys, before I allow Dr. Abati to come in, this is the question every Nigerian should be asking. Why is it that releasing your document is going to cause you a very big harm? Why? You want to say, you told Nigerians that you want to become a president. Even when Nigerians, many Nigerians, I mean most Nigerians believe you did not win the election, INEC announced you to have won the election, not knowing that the information you submitted to INEC are alleged to have been forged. Now, the court has given an order, release the original document so that Nigerians will get to know if actually you forged the results or not. And then you quickly run to a higher court. This is just like what is happening in Nigeria today, where a court will give an order, maybe in Owerri, and somebody from Zamfara will quickly run to Abakaliki to obtain another order, not even from your state. You know, somebody from Kano will just wake up one day and go to a court in Bayelsa, and then that court will issue another order to counter the one that was initially issued. That was exactly, as in, you can see that gene, that genetic trait in Nigerian politicians. They've taken it to the United States. A court ordered a university to release your information, and you ran to another court, a higher court, to quickly obtain an order so that that document will not be released. That is just what is playing out here, guys. It means that though some of those things we do at home in Nigeria, we are now taking them outside. But you know, this judge handling this matter is very smart. He has given them time to go home and do their homework. Then by next week, they'll be doing their last final presentation, their arguments as to why this document should be released. I mean, from the Atiku camp, they'll be presenting to the court why this document should be released. Why the Tinubu court, the Tinubu's team will be coming to counter that, to tell the court, please don't release this. My image will be at risk. They are going, you know, before now he said Nigerian bloggers are going to mess up with his persons. So now he's saying that please don't release my information to avoid any form of damage to my person. So guys, yes, that is where we are. And you can see what Rufai is saying, that you say you want to become president. People want to know about you. People want to like investigate. People want to go far as they can to get all the information, especially in a situation we are into, you know, after the election, the person that is occupying Aso Rock, many Nigerians do not believe he won the election. Many people believe that INEC just announced him and then they asked us to go to court. We've gone to court and then the tribunal upheld what INEC announced. Now we are heading to the Supreme Court and Nigerians are still worried. Are we going to get justice at the Supreme Court? We also what happened in Kano. Now Kano people are protesting because the tribunal sacked the person that was announced the winner and declared the APC from nowhere, just like what happened in Imo State during the time of Hope Uzodinma. All of a sudden, somebody that didn't even come close to second now became the governor of Imo State. And you can see how badly that has affected Imo State. This is what we keep saying, that the judiciary is the only body that is standing, that can take a very strong decision in rescuing Nigeria from the mess we are into. And if they allow these corrupt politicians to corrupt them, it means that Nigeria will never be redeemed, honestly. That is how bad things have gone. So let's take Dr. Abati's reaction.
Ronaldo said severe harm, not that, it could cause irreparable harm. But okay, it's a question of semantics. But two things. Yes, I share the view that anybody that is in the public space should be available to public scrutiny. Because when you hold a position on behalf of the people, there will be questions about transparency and accountability, and even about, your own personal integrity. And the principle here is volatile non-fit injuria. If you don't like heat, don't go near the kitchen. But here, we're not dealing with that morality. We're dealing with two sides of it. The first side of it is that Atiku Abubakar and the PDP, they're saying that there were discrepancies in the academic records of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And what Atiku is trying to establish, his lawyers say they just want clarification, because their claim is that he presented forged certificates, and that this could have material implications for their own case in the Nigerian presidential election petition process. So they've now gone to the US, and the school, Chicago State University, was subpoenaed, and the request was an order of mandamus for discovery, for use. Okay, that's the emphasis. And the magistrate, that's Judge Gilbert, having said, well, the court has jurisdiction to inquire into the matter. Well, gave that order, which, was effective by about 3 p.m. yesterday, I think, Chicago time. But then, Tinubu's counsel went straight to the district court, where the judge now said, okay, we'll give you till Monday for you. And two things could happen. Either the judge will uphold the decision of the magistrate, or the lawyers will be asked to file their briefs afresh, and then the whole argument will continue. So if you look at it from that perspective, yes, the Tinubu team, they probably will not want the president to be embarrassed by any kind of clarification, which may then go into the public domain. But where the matter is that Chicago State University has already confirmed that he attended the university, and they had issued a statement before now to that effect. So the question I raised yesterday was, okay, this discovery for use, okay, what are they going to discover? And I was saying people should not speculate. Let the discovery be made first, and then it comes into the public domain. Then when the discovery comes into the public domain, because it's a civil matter, it's not as if it's a criminal matter. So the question is, in international civil litigation, can a foreign forum impact on a local forum? That is a question. Okay. Two, one of the points we made yesterday was that the Supreme Court of Nigeria, which is now going to hear the appeal, is not a court where you go and bring evidence. It's a court of public policy. It's not a court of evidence. But I also said there may be exceptional circumstances under which fresh evidence may be accepted. Exceptional circumstances. And it's only in the wisdom of the Supreme Court that will even be allowed. So nobody should speculate. Because one, you have to prove that there will be a miscarriage of justice if their lordships do not take a look at that fresh evidence. They have to consider the weight of the evidence. They will have to consider the relevance of the evidence. They will have to consider whether the evidence is admissible.
So guys, I've got something to say at this point. Dr. Abati was saying that, will a foreign court impact on the decision of a local court? So Atiku Abubakar is not asking the court in the United States to help him in any way, to regain his mandate or to be declared the winner of the 2023 presidential election. No. Atiku Abubakar is just saying, please, I need an information that will help me to prove my case in court. And that information is in the United States. Please tell this university to give me the certificate of this person. He claimed to have finished or graduated from this school. He submitted a document to INEC, and we are suspecting that the document he submitted to INEC was forged. So for us to be able to prove our case, please, we need the original copy of that record. This is just what Atiku Abubakar is asking for God's sake. Atiku is not saying that a foreign court will have any role in playing, in making the Supreme Court to decide or to come up with a decision that will favor him at the Supreme Court. No, Atiku just wants this record. He just wants Tinubu's certificate. That is what Atiku wants, because Atiku's lawyer, together with Atiku, they believe that he forged his certificate. So Chicago State University is in the best position to prove that, and that is just what Nigerians want to know, so that this topic will be brought to rest.
So these are all the weighty issues that lie ahead. So it's not as if it's an automatic thing, but it's possible to just say, okay, as Rufa has pointed out, what is the big deal? About certificate. If you say you have it, just put it on the table. If they say discovery for use, okay, let's see the discovery. But there are many sides to it, and that was why I was saying yesterday that at the end of the day, it may be of no moment, because the decision in terms of relevance, weight, admissibility, will still be considered by Nigeria, not what, a foreign court dictates or tells Nigeria to do. No. So people should just know that the matter, it's not something to really get excited about for now. Let us all wait for that discovery, if it happens. Okay?
Yes.
That, I think, is the issue.
All right. Well, that's very true in terms of waiting for the discovery. What we can talk about is just what's happening as the drama, as it is in this case, unfolds, just to find out. Of course, a few curious things, as Rufai already highlighted, that if the university has stated categorically that the president did attend Chicago State University in 1979, a certificate was issued to him, then it shouldn't be a problem. I think what makes it more curious is the attempt, and very determined attempt, of the president's lawyers and camp to stop the release of his certificate. And so you want to understand the reason why this is the case, why they are adamant that they shouldn't, that the CSU shouldn't release the certificate of the president, which he, authentically obtained in 1979. These are the questions that we begin to ask. And of course, the revelation. So perhaps from their camp, let his certificate be out there. Let's put an end to what is now becoming a national embarrassment, whereby the U.S. is deliberating, our U.S. court is deliberating whether to release the certificate of the president of a sovereign nation who was elected. It's really, aside from the election side of things and the morality of things, it's the huge embarrassment it's causing to our nation, whereby we are contending as to whether the president submitted a certificate or attended an institution in a United States college. It's really quite embarrassing, to say the least. And so we hope that this will be put to rest. And it's very simple. CSU release the certificate. Let Nigerians or Mr. Atiku Abubakar be able to cite what has already been established by the university and on media platforms like CBS. Let it be established and let this matter be put to rest, and the president continue with the business of governance. He has already been established as president at the petitions court, first leg of the petitions court. And now the Labour Party and Mr. Peter Obi and Mr. Atiku Abubakar and the PDP are challenging the outcome of that. So from the status of the president, this is what happened. He went to the university. It should be a very simple matter, in quote. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of harm it would cause if they're allowed to release these results. So from my view, it's just the national embarrassment it's causing to the nation, the fact that the exalted and elevated position of president is now put under scrutiny by a judge abroad, and we're arguing about certificates. And it's just really embarrassing. Let's end this matter and move on. So let's see whether, if he indeed did not perjure, then let him release his certificate. But what was also very critical to this is that in the event that a certificate that wasn't, that he lied about his certificate, then the Constitution is clear about the fact that he cannot be elected as president if he presented false documents as part of his, his qualifications to being president. That is very clear. And so that's why it is important to find out and get to the bottom of this matter, not just for the benefit of the parties involved in terms of the opposition party, but the benefit of Nigeria and the integrity of the seat of the president. Very important. Move on to the next story.
Yes, so guys, Ayo made some valid points, as she was reacting to this topic. She talked about the embarrassment this will cause Nigeria. You can imagine it being said that the president of Nigeria forged his certificate. Oh my God. How will the world look at us? How will the world look at us? And if eventually it is discovered that he forged his certificate, the Constitution is very clear for our judges who want to turn or twist the Constitution. The Constitution is clear that whosoever forges his certificate won't be allowed to keep holding that position, especially the position of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Just imagine what happened in Enugu State yesterday. The tribunal upheld Peter Obi as the governor of Enugu State, despite evidence is showing that he forged his NYSC certificate. Don't forget that NYSC came to court to testify against Peter Obi that, Mr. Man, the certificate you have in your possession, we didn't issue it to you. They even brought original copy of what they would have issued him had he finished his NYSC. We heard that Peter Obi actually graduated and went for his youth service. But in the course of serving, he was offered a political position. So he tried to relocate back to his state to complete his service. That wasn't working. He just made up his mind to quit his service for political position. So he didn't finish his youth service. He rather chose to go for a political position because it was somehow attractive. So that was how he even got into politics. He now went. Since then, he never bothered to let me go and redo my youth service, Let me go and serve and make sure I finish my youth service. He got his certificate from nowhere, as allegedly said. And today, during the tribunal ruling, they said NYSC is no longer a basis for you to be elected into political positions. Don't forget that even being a graduate is never a condition. Being a master's degree holder is never a condition. They make it in a way that it is so simple that even if it's WAEC that you wrote, you can contest for this position. But each time you come out to claim that you went to the university, you have a master's degree, you have a PhD degree, and then they ask you to provide evidence, you end up bringing something that was forged. You have destroyed your opportunity. So he came to tell the world that he graduated from a university and that he went for youth service. And when certificates were asked, the one submitted for NYSC was alleged to have been forged. And then he could not prove it in court. The tribunal judges in Enugu State came out to say, oh, NYSC is not part of, the condition for you to be elected as governor. At the time, they even said that he did not submit NYSC certificate. You can imagine all that. Nigerians, the main problem we have today is our judiciary. The main problem, like Dr. Tia said yesterday, that the problem Nigeria is even having, it's not even these politicians, it's the judges, the judiciary. If they can take their stance, honestly, they will silence these politicians, no matter how they try to wangle themselves into all these positions. The judiciary can stop them. Peter Obi has said it that if the process that brought you to the state of being an excellency is not excellent, then you are not even worth being called that excellency. So, guys, this is what is happening in Nigeria today. That Atiku was already at the verge of, getting this information. So Tinubu's lawyers took this smart move, went to a higher court, obtained an order to stop the magistrate court, the lower court that initially gave this order, to stop them, so that the Chicago State University will not release Tinubu's record. They say it's going to cause irreparable damage to the president of Nigeria, the sitting president. That's what his lawyers argue. And we are just looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out. So should America allow these documents not to be released, as in should they order the Chicago State University not to release this information, it means that Nigerians would then come to a conclusion that they are the one encouraging what is happening in Africa today, because they've told us that they are interested in upholding democracy across the world. So if they will not allow this information to be released, you can see that directly or indirectly, they are the one killing democracy. Because tomorrow now, if the youths become angry or the Nigerians become angry, you want to start shifting the blame on, hey, the military is conducting coup across African or West African countries. But you will not look at what the politicians is. The politicians, they are the one causing all the problem we're having in Africa today. So guys, that's the update I have for you guys today. I thought it would be nice to share with you what is happening, because we've been bringing this topic right from time, across your way. We've been telling you what Atiku is doing in the US, and we're happy when we got all this information. That for us is a very big win, because once Atiku gets this document from the US to back up what they are saying or whatever they are claiming, that Tinubu submitted forged certificate, the Supreme Court will not have any other option. And that is what the APC is afraid of. They will not have any other option than to disqualify the sitting president. That one, it won't be easy for them to tweak anything. It is very clear that anybody that forges his or her certificate will be disqualified. So that one will be difficult for them to tweak. So the fight they are fighting now is to ensure that Atiku does not get this document. So we are going to watch keenly how this is going to play out. Is the US going to reduce itself to the level of the kind of politicians we have in Africa or in places like Nigeria? Or would they prove to the world that they are still ahead in terms of democracy? These are the things we'll be watching now to see how they all play out coming, next week. Yes, because the final ruling is going to be handed over to Atiku and to the Tinubu's camp by next week. So guys, I want to say thank you for joining me. Dr. Tell was not able to make it tonight, but he'll be here tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining this live session. Please help me to give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it for others to watch. And do me a favor, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you get all our updates. With this, I want to say a very big thank you for being a part of this live session, and God bless you. Bye.